All right, last video here for this lesson for chapter 6, lesson 6. So we are talking about systems of inequalities, and we've looked at cases where we've gotten a solution here. So in this video, we're gonna see something kind of bizarre happen, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. But let's as I like to do, let's look at our equations and let's see if you guys notice something kind of odd going on. And for me, the flags go off. You're kind of like, well, we've got the same thing on the left side. One of them saying that it's greater than 2, and the other one's saying, well, then it's less than -5. And just think about this for a moment. We're talking about a system, right? So it has to satisfy both of those. So if you look at this and let's just say we're going to just call that, I don't know, a big question mark. And then, so that means you have the same thing over here. You got another big question mark. So this top statement says the question mark is greater than or equal to 2, but this one says the question mark is less than or equal to -5. And I know that because it's a system, it has to satisfy both inequalities. Well, that doesn't really exist, right? And so in this video, once we plot this, you'll see why, right? So if you do get to a point where you can look at this and you don't have to graph it to get your answer, that's fine. But I mean, most of the time they'll make you graph it anyway. So let's get graphing. So let's graph this one. All right, let's graph this one using, let's just rewrite it. Okay, so let's go 3x. I'm just going to take it 3x minus y. Now, of course, it's glitching. It's 2. Let's move this over. All right, move you over there. So it's going to become negative. Negative y is greater than or equal to -3x plus 2. All right, now we're going to multiply everything by -1. And remember, when you do that, you got to flip that sign. All right, so we get y is less than or equal to 3x minus 2. All right, so let's go to -2. Let's put a point. My slope is 3, so that means it's up 3 over 1. So 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, and then it's going to be a big old solid line. So we get something like that, right? And if I put the origin in, right, and we can put it into the original equation. If I put the origin in, I get 0 minus 0, because 3 times 0 is 0. Minus 0 is greater than or equal to 2. Well, that's false. So I'm going to shade the other side that does not include the origin. And that would be my very crooked looking solution for that. All right, now for the second equation right here, let's go ahead and rewrite this one. So we get 3x. I'm just going to copy this down. Now let's move this guy over. So he's going to change signs. So we're going to get -3x minus 5. And I'll multiply everything by -1. And when we do that, it makes it a little easier to read. And we flip the sign. You got to remember to flip your sign. So my y-intercept is 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's way up here. Okay, and then my slope is 3, so it's the same slope, and it's hard to go 1, 2, 3 and then go over 1, right? So let's go backwards. So let's go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then over the other way, right? And so now I get this line that looks like this, and it's dashed, right? I'm mercifully drawing this one a little straighter than the last one. And now let's graph it. Let's put the origin in this. All right, so if I put the origin in it, we have 3 times 0 minus 0 is less than or equal to -5. So basically 0 minus 0, which is 0, is less than or equal to -5. Well, there's no equal. 0 is never less than -5. 0 is greater than -5. So the part with the origin would be false, so we would shade the opposite side of it. So we would be shading this side of it right here. Now, there's something kind of weird going on, because up till now, we always know that we shade the area where it's a shared area. But there's no shared area in here. This red is going to go all the way up into infinity and cover all this stuff, right? And then the yellow is going to go up to infinity too. But they're never going to touch each other. There's always going to be this area between them, this right here, this like no man's land, where they never touch because these are two parallel lines. So if you get that, right, and boy, I sure made a mess of this screen, but if you get that, the answer to this is the good old no solution. All right, and that's what it looks like. All right, and we talked about it before we graphed it, and we kind of had an idea that that's what we're going to have, but hopefully this shows you exactly what it looks like. So hope these videos have been helpful to you, and go have some fun doing these.